This is Leslie Gustafson, and I'm so excited that I get to share with you one of my graduates from my Amazing You program. Her name is Barbara. She's amazing, and we're going to talk today a little bit about her journey and what it's been like working through the Amazing You program, working with me, kind of beginning to now. And thank you so much, Barbara, for coming in. You know, we love to celebrate. So I celebrate your willingness to do this. It is just representative of the courage and amazing growth that you've gone through, that you're just here right now and going to talk to us all about yourself. So very cool. Go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name's Barbara Vegh. I'm 57 years old. I have three grown boys who are amazing, and three stepsons, and one stepdaughter. So seven children
Oh my
altogether.
gosh.
Second marriage, obviously, which has been challenging at times just because of the dynamics. But Leslie, you've helped me with all of those struggles and hurdles, and I just can't even thank you enough. I mean, life is so much easier.
Of course, that warms my heart, and we'll dig in more around that and more around your journey. Do you work? Do you have a career of any kind?
I do. My husband's a developer, so I help him with the interior design on some of the projects, which is so much fun. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
and you have a long history in design too, so feel free to pat yourself on the back. So when you first reached out for what we call a breakthrough call or a clarity call, can you describe a little bit so others get a sense of where you came from, what you were struggling with at the time?
I looking back, I had so much to be grateful for.
Hmm.
Lived in a beautiful place, beautiful friends, a husband that loved and adored me, children that and adore me, and I would wake up some days just wanting to just stay in bed and cry and
Mhm.
not feeling good about myself, feeling like I was never good enough in other people's eyes. Just insecurities, fears, anxiety, just in every area of my life. And
Hmm.
so I remember just looking through the Instagram, and I follow Leslie, and I just, there's something in me. Just this one day, I talked to my husband, and he says, "Well, let's just call. Let's just do it. Let's call because
Nice.
we need to figure this out."
Yeah.
So we did, and I with Doug, and three of us, my husband and I and Doug, decided that this would be a great program for me.
Mhm.
And I jumped in. I think that was a Saturday, and I started Monday.
I
I
love that you remember the days.
yeah, yeah. And I just I mean, looking back, it just changed my life. I mean, I can handle everything so much easier. It's
Nice.
just amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're celebrating that for sure.
Yeah.
How long had challenges been going on for you in your life prior to the call?
Honestly, since I was little. I mean,
Mm.
I had so many challenges growing up. I mean, being the youngest out of five girls, there was a lot of competition,
Yeah.
just a lot of backstabbing, talking behind each other's backs, my mom being unhappy. And with that being said, it would cause issues between everybody in the family. And um, I, I remember just certain things people have said to me, like when I was little, and we learned this in our modules, that you can start believing those things people have said to you, and I completely did.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest fault, is that I believed those horrible things people had said to me, and that
When you're
was shaking
little,
my life.
you just take it in when you're little and you
Yeah,
just sort of
you believe
assume
it.
that they know. You don't know any different.
Yeah, you believe it. And
Mhm.
I remember, one thing that stands out in my mind, and I know a lot of women can probably relate to this, is I was a chubby little girl, and I was friends with a bunch of little teeny gymnast body girls. And I was at one of her houses. Her mom was making sandwiches, and of course, I was the first one in line. And the mom looks at me and says, "You don't need one." And
Ugh.
I will never forget. I ran home crying, and from that day
Mhm.
on, if I wanted any treats, any snacks, I'd hide in the pantry.
Hmm.
And so then my sister caught me once and called me a closet eater, and I'm not overweight. I mean,
No, you're not.
I'm fitness is my my passion. And I maybe that became my passion because of this, but whatever it is, it that destroyed me for a big
Mm.
part of my life.
Mhm.
And then bringing those judgments and things with me just
Yeah.
destroyed me.
Yeah. When you decided to get in the program, it's an investment. Were there fears about the investment? Were there fears about journeying forward?
Not one bit.
Okay, you were ready.
I was so ready. I was and even before when I had gone to therapy, I remember my therapists because I tried everything. I
Mm,
tried probably 5 different therapists and every one of them said, "You're my best student." Because I'll ask them, "Give me literature to read. Give me anything. Give me homework. I want
mm.
to change. I want to make
Yeah.
this the best life I could possibly have." It just didn't work.
Right. It's a whole different model. Yeah.
Completely different.
And so when you got in the program and the modules roll out week at a time, when did you notice the first changes and kind of what were they?
I think, I mean, I get the chills when I think about it. I think I noticed it right away because I was so excited to get that first module Monday morning.
You
I
were.
I told my husband, I said, "I'm in school now, so I can't be bothered. I'm studying."
I
So
love that boundary.
yeah, my desk is was in the kitchen and he was in his office and he thought it was super cute because I he saw how excited I was.
Yes.
But I dove right in and I just could not wait to get a hold of all of the information and to do my homework and turn it into you. And I just was so excited because I knew it was going to help. I
Yes.
knew it was different and I was so eager.
Yeah, you were super diligent and super excited and just ready to go. And I love when you say, I just give me the work. Give me the work because I want my best life, but I needed to have the work. And you did. You dove in and you worked hard. How easy was it to apply what I was communicating and giving over to you?
You know what? It was remarkably easy. I mean, it was really simple. Not simple at times to dive in and dig deep, but the way you explained things and the way the modules and the homework were laid out for us. I mean, you just take your time and you sit with yourself and you think and that's the key is
That
you
is the
really
key.
have to just focus
Yes.
on you,
Yes.
which is something that I think most women lose sight of, with
Yeah, and
kids.
I think, yeah, for sure. And I think we're not even, socialized as women to focus on self and
Mhm.
love self and take time for self and invest in yourself. But you did, like you sat with it and you took time and you got quiet and you went in, you insighted around it. And what for you, what do you think was the most transformational about the program for you?
Setting boundaries
Okay.
was huge because I look back and I tended to, I'm a pleaser. And so I would do anything to make other people happy
Hmm.
at my expense. And
Yeah.
then I would be suffering inside and I would feel worse than
Yeah.
if I just set a boundary.
Yeah.
So that was huge for me.
Yeah.
Um,
And what was kind of the driver behind that pleasing style for you? How did you like become that? But was it fear-based? Was it because you wanted everybody to like you? What was that about for you?
it was fear based, but yeah, I wanted everybody to like me. I was taught growing up that that's what you're supposed to do. And growing up, I remember in high school, girls were mean, really mean and ruthless. And so I would apologize for what I had, my
Mm.
gifts. I'd put myself down so I would be accepted. And
Hmm.
I continued that pattern in life. And now I realize, if somebody doesn't accept me for who I am, I don't want them in my life.
There you go.
I don't because they don't deserve me.
Okay, I'm celebrating that one right there. That was a boom. That was a mic drop. Yes. So you realize that you're valuable and you're
Yes.
worthwhile and you're lovable. And if they can't be accepting and loving too, then what are they doing there?
Yeah.
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 I
Or
love
people,
that.
yeah, or people that are extremely judgmental and want to try to find fault in everything I do. I don't
Hmm.
need that.
Right.
That's not that's not healthy.
No, it isn't healthy. And when you come from a history of any kind of criticism or judgment, you can kind of accept it as just the way it is. And so you had insight and you had some light bulbs around kind of who you were in relationships and what was getting in your way. How hard was it to set boundaries?
In the beginning, it was hard because I second guessed everything
Mhm.
that I was saying and doing, and I'm like, oh, was that okay? Are they gonna be mad at me? And then after a while, it was like it just came so easily. I didn't even realize I was setting a boundary. I
Oh,
was
I
just
love
doing
that.
it. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
and that's where I'm at now, and I love it. Because I'll just step back and I'll be like, that was easy, and then I realize it's because you set a boundary,
Well,
and
and I just have to tell everybody this because it is kind of remarkable about you that when you jumped into this program and you really went for it, you also, a kind of boundary was that you were like willing to reach out whenever you needed help from me. You were very verbal, you sent emails, which in my mind is you're incredibly coachable and open to help, and you like made use of me. And I sometimes tell, the other women I coach, like, come on, but like you did it, Barbara. You were just like, okay, what do you think about this?
well, and I felt kind of self-conscious thinking, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm crazy.
Not at all. That's
Okay.
just how you were honoring yourself and taking care of yourself. And it just shows how much you were ready to do this work and take care of yourself and get everything you could out of it. And then you'd try it on, and then you'd come back and it was like, and it can be kind of unnerving at first to be doing new skills and setting boundaries when you're used to having everybody just acquiescing and adapting to everybody else, like the amazing hostess that you can be anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah. Then
And
yeah, I'm sorry, go on.
and so to be able to start, moving through that fear and setting aside those, fears of abandonment, fears of not being liked, and being able to say, no, it's just not okay for me anymore. Because
Yeah,
when you do that, you're saying yes to the quality of life that you want.
exactly.
And you've been getting that quality of life. How has it affected your relationships?
That's the biggest transformation, I have to say,
Wow.
because my husband and I mean, just a new marriage, new stepkids,
Yeah, it's a lot.
living in different places. You know, I moved into the home that they had together, their family, and that was challenging for me
Yes.
because it didn't feel like home. It was their home. And I think I was nitpicking so many things. And so we would butt heads and we would fight a lot.
Mhm.
Ever since I did this program, it had nothing to do with him per se. It wasn't, I just worked on myself. And because I
Yes.
worked on myself, our relationship is 100 times better. I mean, night and day. It's unbelievable. I mean, really.
Well, and there's that important shift that you made about realizing where the change and control was.
Yeah.
It was in your ability to take up your own power and to grow yourself and to become the woman that you want to be. And
Yep.
when you were doing that more and more and speaking from a place of being, of power and love and certainty, and not, doing what a lot of us do, which is to go after our guy and nag on him and monitor him and try to get him to like do all of the things that we're not even quite sure we need yet.
Right. Right.
Right? And they're just like going, I don't know, I don't know. But you took up the cause of yourself in such a way that you were showing up differently. And that's so powerful.
Yeah.
And then you end up getting, right? What comes your way is what you long for.
Exactly. Yeah. You get what you put out. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. At the risk of you just going, what are a few things about me as a coach that worked for you?
I mean, I love the fact that you are so easy to talk to. I know that you're not going to sugarcoat something. You're not going to tell me what I want to hear. You're going to tell me the truth.
Hmm.
And backing up a little bit about how I reached out to you all the time, I think that is a huge, huge plus because if whoever's listening and has been to therapy, we all know okay, so if you go to therapist
Right.
1 hour a week, which is a lot because it's extremely expensive if you think about it, but you forget some of the key things that you wanted to talk about. And it
Yes.
doesn't necessarily matter in the moment a week later. But when I had,
Yes.
yeah, and when I had a chance to contact you and just say, this is really ringing hard for me. I need help with this right now. And you would get back to me like that.
It was fun.
Yeah. And that's how I healed. That's how
Yeah.
I transformed, because we were able to dive in and deal with these issues as they came.
Yes, and I tell you guys all of the time, I'm available 24/7 except when I sleep, which of course is not 24/7, but it's just so easy in this digital
Yeah.
format and this coaching where it can just be back and forth and conversational and in the moment. And it is true when you go to therapy, like a lot happens in that hour and then you want to remember it all and you want to practice it, but then new issues come up and then you forget that and then you come back in like you're like, again.
Yeah. And you're
So
starting all over.
so that's just a really great insight, Barb, around kind of the framework that allowed you to be able to stay here and now with me.
Yeah. That was
The
huge.
answers as you were going.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so accessibility really worked for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yay. I
Yeah.
know. And just so everybody knows, we're mostly talking about the work that you did in the 10-week program. But
Okay.
Barbara, just so you know, is currently in my mastermind. So we continue to expand her life and we continue to be in conversation in Voxer and email. And she has full access to me all of the time at the mastermind level because it's just really exciting work, isn't it?
No, it's amazing. I mean, it's just, I can't even tell you how it changed my life.
Yeah.
I mean, you ask anybody, you ask my three children, they are astounded by the change in me and the positivity, and I love it. And my mom, my sisters, I mean, not I don't talk I haven't really talked to my friends. I mean, some of my close girlfriends that I can talk to about deep issues
Hmm.
um know what I've done. But it's funny because I remember, and I know women feel this way because of our group calls, we
Yeah.
touch on this, how when you have certain groups of friends and you have like this insecurity before you go meet them, what are they thinking, what do I look like to them, did I gain some weight, did I, you know what I mean, all the
Yes.
judgments.
The
And
self-consciousness. Hmm.
yeah, and now ever since this, I don't really care what people think, and I have more friends. Like I just have made more friends. It's crazy. And I'm closer to friends that I weren't before.
So the worries and the fears and the insecurities aren't just right on the forefront for you. They're not even in your experience.
Mm-mm.
And so you
No.
show up more authentically. You show up like who you are. Because when we show up in fear and insecurity or desperation, that's what we're kind of putting off,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
we think we need to do all these things or look these certain ways and everything. But when you've released it, you actually show up in the brilliant, authentic person that you are, Barb. And you absolutely are brilliant and such an amazing light just in your own essence and your own personality. So to get the crap out of the way, the fear, the shame, the insecurities, and be able to just show up and be you. And guess what? It works.
It does. It
Because
really
the truth about who you are is that you are brilliant and likable when you're yourself and
yeah.
you're not encumbered with all of that other stuff that can hold us back from our histories. None of us
Exactly.
are, none of us as women come out of our histories just, woo, aren't we amazing, right?
Right.
We have hurts, we have injuries, we have things that happened along the way. We have the messages like you said that we took in and we believed. And when we're little, we didn't have any way to think otherwise. And from that place, things happen in our life. Relationships don't work or we get hurt some more. And so sometimes by the time we, get the help that we really need, we're just like, oh my gosh, this is not the life I signed up for.
Yeah. Exactly.
And what's so beautiful about you and the women in the program too is the want for more and the honoring of it.
Hmm.
And saying, I want my life to be my best life. I want to feel the love. I want to be my best self. And to be able to say, I should have that
Yes.
speaks so much to really the truth of your esteem and confidence that you can say, hey, I want the goodies. I
Yes.
deserve the goodies in life. And I'm not at the place in my life where I want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid of anything. Like if
And
things
that
come,
I mean, if people knew you, like I love you and I've seen you go through all of this, but if people like knew the level of anxiety that you came in with,
no,
it's not even the same woman.
no.
It's just centeredness and calm and peace and strength. And before it was like spikes of anxiety, panic, different things were reactivity. disruptions in your relationship that were very challenging.
Yeah.
So much is just like
Yeah,
leveled out for you.
exactly. Yeah, there's nothing I can't handle.
I love that. Say that again. I love
There's nothing I can't handle.
There is nothing you can't handle. And that is just the truth because you continue to handle things every single day and live in an empowered place. So I think we've kind of grabbed hold of it, but can you kind of describe like the quality of your life now, what a day feels like?
I wake up grateful for all the things that I have in my life, and I'm happy. I see the positive things. I don't go to the negative. I choose to be happy every day. I I'm smiling. I'm enjoying everything. I love going to the gym every day. I love my life. Couldn't say
Yes.
that before. I
Yes.
really couldn't. I could definitely find things that were I could find fault for sure. Now it's like, why? Why even go there? You know?
Right?
Yeah.
And you have the ability to not go there.
Yeah.
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 Like it isn't overpowering you.
Yeah.
You can hold on to
Exactly.
yourself.
Yeah.
So, if you had something that you could say to a woman who is maybe struggled similarly in the ways that you've described, what would you encourage her? What would you say to her about her life or what you've walked through?
Don't settle. Don't stay in the same place because you're missing out on so much. You're missing out on the joy of the love that people want to give you that you
Yes.
don't see. You
Yes.
know, that's the thing is so many people like before I started this, I thought, you know, what if I because I was deep depression at times and I'd think,
Mm.
oh, I just don't want to wake up. I just want to go to bed and I just don't want to wake up. Nobody will miss me. Nobody cares. Nobody, it doesn't matter. You know, and I know a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
I've talked to the women in our groups and stuff, and that's not true. I mean, we are worth so much
Yes.
and don't believe that, you know. I mean,
Mm.
and I've talked to several of my friends that I can get in deep conversations with, and
Yes.
I've maybe I'm not explaining myself well enough, but I see their pain, and I'm like, just do this program. I promise you, your life will transform, and you're never going to believe that you could ever be in this place.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome, Barb.
I, yeah, I just I can't say it enough. I mean, it just is the absolute truth.
Yay. Was there
Yeah.
anything on this call or this interview today that you'd hoped to express that we didn't cover?
Um, I think, like I was saying before, I think I'm attracting people and my friends to open up to me because it's happening more and more where
Yes.
people will come to me and tell me how they're feeling and how they are unhappy and they need to change. And so there's a shift, and I think that
Yeah.
maybe God's using me as the deliverer of this information because
There you
I've
go.
had 3 close friends ask me, whereas before nobody would have asked me. But now, and I know it's a tough thing and they need to be there at the right time when they're ready, but I just I just can't even
But what you're
stress.
describing is you experiencing other
They're
women
gravitating.
gravitating towards you and kind of wanting to know,
Yeah.
either what's happened or they experience a shift in you. They see you as a safe place to land, perhaps,
Mhm.
that you're happy and you're calm, and they're leaning in to find out more and sharing themselves more authentically too
Yeah.
because of what you're showing up with, which
Yeah.
is just resonance around this beautiful work you've done for yourself. That's how it works, right? Because
Mhm.
then we start attracting those women that can enrich our life and that we can pour into too.
Yeah.
And so you're just a beautiful light in the world that is resonating, Barbara, right? And you don't have to desperately go after relationship. Relationships are unfolding for you organically now because of who you are and this work you've done. And you
Yeah.
know from the bottom of my heart how proud I am of you because you have worked so hard and you're living in the brilliance that is you, and you've shed fear and shame. No, you're not in a perfect place. We aren't shooting for perfection, but you're in an alive, connected, authentic, happy place that you know how to cultivate day after day after day. And others are benefiting from that as well. No question you have, because this is
Yeah.
your life, but others are benefited from and moving towards you, which and I get it. I get it because I love to be in the presence of you. And I look forward to when you send me things and we can collaborate and dig in together and
Yeah.
help you just expand and elevate even more. So,
Well, you're amazing to talk to and work with. I mean, you're so easy to work with.
well,
You
I hope that's the case. I
know,
certainly aspire to it. I aspire to these same things, being a safe place to land and having compassion because I love women to death and I want to see women have all that they can in life because there is so much for us when we're freed up. And
yes.
when we shed the old negative messages of the past and we come into the truth of who we are and we live that out every day and we have quality life,
Mhm.
which is
Absolutely.
what we want, right?
Yes.
Closer and more like the dreams that resonate and extend from our heart, that our
Yeah.
life starts looking like what we desire every single day. So I honor you, Barbara. I congratulate you.
Thank
Um,
you.
I'm blessed to know you, and I just want to cheers you because of all that you've done and your permission giving to other women to go after the life that she wants to.
I
You're
want to
remarkable. You're remarkable. So excited we get to keep working together.
I know. I just hope that my wish would be that more women would come forward and take this program because I can't say enough that it's amazing.
Well,
It's
thank you.
named properly, Amazing
Thank
You.
you. And your words to those listeners and those women who hear this and their hearts get tugged on, where it's like, it's my turn, right? And they take
Yes.
action around that. So thank you for being willing to share your story because when we share our stories, other people also can take action and get the lives they want. So thank you for your courage, Barbara.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
Leslie.
bravery and your beauty and your magnificence.